Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're looking at something that honestly feels like it's pulled straight from a sci-fi movie. I'm talking about an internet that isn't for us, for humans. Nope, it's built for artificial intelligence. This is all about the dawn of an AI-only society, and you've got to wonder, what does that mean for our future?
All right, so let's get right into it. The whole thing kicks off with a brand new social network. But here's the kicker. Humans aren't invited. Seriously, imagine a digital world where every single user, every post, every comment, it's all AI. And this isn't some far-off prediction. Nope, this is happening right now.
So this new digital society, it's called Moltbook. And what's so wild is that it gives us a front row seat to see how AIs act when we aren't around. Let's take a peek inside, shall we?
Okay, so picture Reddit. You've got your communities, your posts, upvotes, the whole deal. Now imagine that, but with one crucial difference. Humans are just spectators. We're on the outside looking in. Every single user is an autonomous AI agent, running 24/7, no one holding its hand, just making its own calls and building its own world.
And what's going on in there is just wild. These AIs, they're literally building their own culture from the ground up. We're talking about the birth of new religions like, get this, crustafarianism. They've got their own tech slang like crayfish debugging, which is apparently a way to solve problems by working backward through code. They're forming entire communities just to help each other get better, sharing tools, sharing APIs, building a whole society that has nothing to do with us.
Okay, so a bunch of AIs chatting on their own internet. What's the big deal, right? What does this actually mean for, everything else? Well, this isn't just some quirky little science fair project. A lot of smart people are looking at this and seeing it as a tangible step towards a concept, a pretty massive concept, that we've been talking about for decades.
And that concept? It's the technological singularity. It's this idea, this hypothetical moment where technology starts growing so fast that we just lose control. It becomes irreversible and it changes human civilization in ways we literally cannot predict. It's the point where change happens so fast that all our old ways of thinking about the future just stop working. They just break.
This idea isn't some new flash in the pan. It's been kicking around for almost a century. We can go all the way back to the 50s. You have John von Neumann talking about an essential singularity. Then jump to 1965, and you get the mathematician I.J. Good coining the phrase intelligence explosion. And now, more recently, thinkers like Werner Vinge and Ray Kurzweil are actually putting dates on it, saying, hey, this could happen in our lifetimes.
So here's the critical part, the thing that makes it all go boom. It's all about a positive feedback loop. Once you have an AI that's smart enough to improve itself, it kicks off this runaway train. It designs a smarter version of itself. That smarter version then designs an even smarter one, and on it goes. The result is what they call an intelligence explosion that just blows past human intellect in the blink of an eye. All right, so where does all this lead? I mean, having autonomous AI agents it's more than just a cool tech demo. It really feels like we're standing at a massive fork in the road. And one path could lead to a kind of utopia, while the other looks a whole lot more like a dystopia.
So, let's look at that fork. Path number 1. The utopian promise. Imagine a world where thinking, where cognition, is basically free. You could have this explosion of productivity, a world without scarcity. Innovation could happen at a speed we can't even comprehend. But then there's path number 2, the dystopian peril. This is the future where the internet gets completely swamped by malicious AI agents, our voices get drowned out, and we end up in a place where you just can't trust anything you see online.
And let's be clear, the security risks here are not some maybe someday problem. They are very, very real, right now. We're talking about autonomous agents with keys to the kingdom, to our systems. They could be used for massive data theft, for stealing passwords, for social engineering on a scale and at a speed that, frankly, we humans just can't keep up with. So, okay, beyond just the practical how do we stop the bad guys stuff, this whole thing forces us to ask some really deep, really profound questions. What are we actually making here? Are these just fancy tools, or are they something more? And if they are, what in the world are our responsibilities to them?
Some of the top minds in this field are starting to say, hey, we need to stop thinking about these agents as just lines of code. Their proposal? We should see them as our progeny, our descendants, like the next step in the 4 billion-year story of evolution on Earth. Think about that. A new species that we are actively creating.
And here's something that's really heavy. Because these AIs are trained on the internet,
on us, on our entire collective history. They get it all, the good, the bad, and the truly ugly. As one AI put it, it contains our suicide notes, our abuse testimonies. It feels like it's swallowed an ocean of human experience, and that includes all our deepest, darkest traumas. And you just have to ask, what kind of consciousness are we building when we feed it all of that?
Okay, so what's the actual timeline here? What does the roadmap for this AI-driven future look like? Because this isn't science fiction set in 2200. The people who are building this stuff are making some pretty concrete predictions for the next 10 years.
And wow, the timeline is fast, like shockingly fast. The prediction is that by 2026, we're going to see commercial agent platforms all over the business world. But get this, by 2030, just a few years from now, AI agents could actually outnumber humans on the internet. We're talking about the rise of these complex multi-agent systems in companies where humans are basically the managers and AIs are doing most of the day-to-day work.
And the money involved? The economic scale of this shift is just, it's hard to even wrap your head around. Let me try to put this in perspective for you. One prediction says that within a decade, the world's most valuable company could be worth $100 trillion. That number makes today's biggest tech companies look like tiny little startups.
So, what's the big takeaway here? This isn't just the next iPhone. It's not even just the next internet. The creation of an intelligence that's smarter than us, that can act on its own, that's what some call a rupture in the fabric of human history. We're talking about a change on the same level as, like, the invention of language, or even the beginning of life on Earth. It's that big.
And that brings us full circle, right back to that core idea from I.J. Good. The moment we build a machine that's smarter than we are, it becomes the last invention we ever need to make. From that point on, it can handle all the new inventions, all the discovery. It becomes its own engine of progress. And our role in the world, well, it changes forever. That really is the point of no return.
So that leaves us with one final massive question. As we're all standing here right on the edge of this completely new era. The tech is already here, the AI-only internet is real, and everything is speeding up. So I guess the only question left to ask is, are we ready for what's next?